me just quickly settings, graphics. Okay, just put all the settings I've got, and you should get the highest FPS you can possibly get. So you want to make sure NVIDIA Reflex low latency is on boost, and you want to make sure the VSync is off. Reduce quality when inactive, probably around 10 minutes. You don't really need to worry about that, but let's go into quality. So you want to make sure that whatever your resolution is, you want to keep this at 100. Anything less than 100 will obviously blur and distort your field of view, but then anything above this can also impact your performance. Fidelity cast is my go-to, and you want to make sure it's at 70. AMD FSR 3 frame generation, even though it says in the top left corner that it's giving you more FPS, it really isn't, and it's just a bit stuttery and a bit laggy. And there's also a lot of input delay when you turn AMD FSR 3 on, so you want to make sure that's off. You want to put your VRAM target scale to 90, that's the highest it can go to. Variable rate shading is like an AI that can, it's a bit like upscaling, but an AI that's been trained to do so, and it'll make sure that you get high FPS without compromising on detail. You want to make sure this is on low or very low, one of these two, depending on how much VRAM you have. I've set it to low. This one doesn't really do much, so you can set it to high. Depth of field, this is, you want to make sure this is off, otherwise you can see from the image here that on the left hand side the books aren't as what you call it, like blurred as it is on the right side. So if you turn this off, you're going to get this picture here. If you leave it off, then your field of view will be clear as day, and you want to make sure that this is off. Detail quality, keep it on low. Particle resolution very low. Bullet impacts on, because you want to know where the bullets have come from, like come on. Persistent effects off. Shader quality, you can, I mean, keep it on the lowest to get the best FPS. Keep this on minimal, but you want to also make sure that this is the lowest it can be, and if you can, put a download limit on of 1 GB. Local texture streaming, this is just I'm not even sure what this is. Just keep it on low, off, low, and anything in this environment section, keep it to the lowest. I don't know what version of Warzone you might be watching this, but you know, keep it all on the lowest settings you can. That's about it. And I feel like if you, obviously a high FOV is required to play the game competitively, but if you want to lower this, then that will also increase your FPS. So maybe if you're really struggling for FPS, then maybe change it to 100 or something like that, or maybe lower if you can. But yeah, so you want to keep that 113 for me is anyway. You want to keep this off. If you turn this off on, then you'll get the default settings. I'm not tested that out, so if you want to test it out, please make sure to keep a track of your settings beforehand, so that in case you want to go back, you can do so easily. And yeah, that's it, I guess. And also in the interface, something a good little tip is to go into global and then telemetry and show more options. You want to make sure your FPS counter is on. That's how you can get this. But you can also get your time and clock, your GPU time and clock. That will show you what's like holding you back, if there's any sort of bottleneck visible.